Lincoln Continental 1961 to 1969. For the 1961 model year, the Lincoln range was consolidated into one model. Following the $60 million in losses, $524,881,890 in 2020 dollars, to develop the 1958 to 1960 cars, all models were replaced by a new Lincoln Continental. Making its first appearance since 1948, the fourth generation was available only as a four-door sedan and convertible until its 1966 model year refresh. Although shedding nearly 15 inches in length and 8 inches in wheelbase over its 1960 Lincoln Continental Mark V predecessor, the new model was nevertheless heavier than its Cadillac or Imperial counterparts. Its solid construction and rigorous post-build inspection of each vehicle reflected Ford corporate management's commitment to making the finest mass-produced domestic automobile of its time, an enviable reputation it achieved. The 1961 Lincoln Continental and its designers received a bronze medal by the Industrial Design Institute, of New York, NY. This institute rarely gives awards to vehicles. It also won Car Life's 1961 Engineering Excellence Award. The fourth generation Lincoln Continental was styled by Ford Design Vice President Elwood Engel. In mid-1958, Lincoln was struggling against Cadillac, with its lack of profitability putting the future of the division at risk. In 1958, Engel developed a proposal for the 1961 Ford Thunderbird with staffers Howard Payne and John Orff in 1958. While the proposal was not selected for the Thunderbird, the design interested Ford executives to the point of desiring the vehicle as a four-door Lincoln. At the time of the approval, Ford product planners had come to two conclusions critical to restoring the Lincoln division to profitability. First, to instill design continuity, Lincoln would adopt a model cycle distinct from four-door Mercury, moving from 3 years to 8 or 9. Second, the 1958 Lincoln model line was too large for a standard-length sedan, consequently, the 1961 Lincoln would have to decrease its exterior footprint. The fourth-generation Continental rode on a stretched version of the unibody platform produced for the 1961 Thunderbird, lengthened to a 123-inch wheelbase from market launch to 1963. This was then extended to 126 inches and retained until 1969. The only engine available was the 430 cubic inches, 7.0 liters, ML V8 carried over from the Mark V. It was expanded to 462 cubic inches on 1966 models, becoming the largest displacement engine ever used in a Ford Motor Company passenger car. A new engine, the 460 cubic inches, 7.5 liters, 385 series-based V8, took its place by 1969, shared with the Continental Mark III. All versions of the Continental were fitted with a 3-speed automatic transmission. New for 1966 was Ford's C6 automatic, designed for use in big block, high-horsepower V8 engines. At its launch, the fourth-generation Lincoln Continental was offered solely as a four-door, as either a sedan or a convertible. For the first time on a Lincoln since 1951, rear doors were rear-hinged, suicide doors. To alert drivers of open doors, Lincoln fitted the dashboard with a door warning light, as seen on many modern automobiles. Latching together at the B-pillar with a vacuum-operated central locking system, convertibles used an abbreviated pillar while sedans were pillared hardtops. In the configuration, a thin B-pillar supported the roof structure while all four doors utilized frameless door glass, in the style of a hardtop or convertible. The layout would become used by several Ford Motor Company sedans during the 1960s and 1970s. In what would be the first four-door convertible from a major American manufacturer after World War II, the Lincoln Continental convertible was fitted with a power-operated top on all examples. Deriving its mechanism from the Ford Fairlane 500 Skyliner hardtop convertible, the Continental was fitted with a fabric roof that stored under a rear-hinged deck lid, filler panel. In a similar fashion as the Skyliner, to access the trunk for storage, the deck lid was opened electrically, without raising or lowering the roof. A somewhat rare and unusual option for 1964 to 1965 was the vertically adjustable steering column. Unlike most tilt-adjustable columns that employ a lever-activated locking pivot joint just behind the steering wheel, the Lincoln version employed a vacuum-actuated clamp, a dash-mounted height indicator window and a pivot point much further down the column.